Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma. ఏమి నాయన ఎంపీసీ ఒకరు ఎంపీసీఎస్ ఒకరు ఏమి స్ట్రెంత్ ఏం వీకెండ్ ఈరోజు ఫ్రైడే కదా రారంటనా మీ పిల్లలు సోహేల్ 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 అక్బర్ బాషా ఓకే చలో ఐ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ఎందుకంటే ఈరోజు ప్రాబ్లం చాలా పెద్దదిగా ఉంది.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
ఎస్ మా గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. లెట్ మీ స్టార్ట్ ది ప్రాబ్లం. రైట్, it is an unbalanced transportation problem which is to be solved by Vogel's approximation method, right? So let us start. Unbalanced transportation problem, right? So it is the given question. Now what is an unbalanced transportation problem? The transportation problem, right, in which the sum of demands and the sum of supplies are not equal. So if we start the solution, we are first testing the summation AI, that is sum of all availabilities, is equal to 1000, right? And next we are testing all sum of requirements, that is summation Bj, that is 300 plus 200 plus 400 is equal to 900. Now the sum of availabilities are not equal to sum of requirements, therefore the given transportation problem is unbalanced. So if we check carefully, the requirement sum is 100 less than the sum of availabilities. See here, so the demand, that means we have to introduce a column D4. So demand is 100 less than supply, right? We introduce a dummy demand column. Dummy means a duplicate demand column D4, right, with all unit cost zeros and with demand 100 in D4 column. That is what we have done here. That see here, D1, D2, D3, D4 and supply. See the supply 200, 300, 500, it is 1000. Now if we see the demands 300, 200, 400 and the last demand is a duplicate demand which we have introduced, right? Now if we test the balancing property in the above table, that is in this table, new table, the sum of all availabilities, that is summation AI, is equal to 200 plus 300 plus 500, it is equal to 1000. And the sum of requirements is equal to summation Bj is equal to 300 plus 200 plus 400 plus 100 is equal to 1000. Now the sum of availabilities is made equal to sum of requirements, that is equal to 1000. Therefore the given transportation problem is balanced. Now we start allocating in this table by Vogel's approximation method, by VAM, short form of Vogel's approximation method, right? It is unbalanced problem regarding demands. Unbalanced problem regarding demands. Now I will change table. Why? Because we need penalties. Now if I take the problem, now this is the problem. See here. Now so see here, the same problem I have taken. Oh my God. All right. The same problem I have taken, right? For which the supplies are same and demands are same, right? And with the row penalties under column penalties, with row penalties under column penalties. Now, let us proceed by finding the row penalties and column penalties, and let us allocate. So how to solve this problem? How to solve this problem by Vogel's approximation method. Now, if I observe the first row, that is, we have to take only cost matrix. We have to take only cost matrix, right? See here. Now, in Roman number 1 row penalty and in Roman number 1 column penalty, we have to fill up these blocks. Now, the first least cost is 0 and the next least cost is 15. Therefore, 15 minus 0 is 15, right? 15 minus 0 is 15. Next, in the second row, also the first least cost is 0 and the next least cost is 25, right? So the penalty is 25. Now, and in the last row, the first least cost is 0 and the next least cost is 20. Therefore, 20 minus 0 is 20. 20 minus 0 is 20. Now, so the row penalty, first row penalty is filled up, and now let us go for filling the column penalties. The first least cost is 20 and the next least cost is 30. Therefore, 30 minus 20 is 10. 30 minus 20 is 10. Now, if I go for the second column, the first least cost is 45, and the next least cost is 50. 50 minus 45 is 5. 50 minus 45 is 5, right? And in the third column, the first least cost is 15 and the next least cost is 25. 25 minus 15 is 10. 25 minus 15 is 10. Now in the last column, the first and second least are zeros. Least cost are zeros. Therefore, 0 minus 0 is 0. So as per Vogel's approximation method, after finding the one set of row penalties and one set of column penalties, we have to take the greatest penalty. That is, the greatest penalty is 25. The greatest penalty is 25. We put the 25 in a block and we enter its corresponding row. And in this corresponding row, we have to select the least cost. The least cost is 0, right? The cell in which the least cost is present. That is the cell 2, 4, in which 0 is the least cost. So now we have to see the corresponding demand and corresponding supply. And now we have to allocate the least value among demand and supply. So the least value is 100, that is demand. We allocate 100. We allocate 100 and make this 100 0 and take out 100 from 300. We'll be left with 200. We'll be left with 200 supply. Now we have to strike off the column as the demand is made 0. As the demand is made 0. Now, so now one allocation is allocated. Now again, we have to go for another set of penalties, right? That is second set of row penalties and second set of column penalties. So again, in these three costs, the first least cost is 15 and the next least cost is 30. So 30 minus 15 is 15. 30 minus 15 is 15. And now in second row, that of these three costs, the first least cost is 25 and the next least cost is 35. 35 minus 25 is 10. 35 minus 25 is 10. And in the last row, the first least cost is 20 and the next least cost is 45. 45 minus 25 is 25. 45 minus 25 is 25, right? Now the row penalties is finished. Now let us go for finding column penalties. The first least cost in first column is 20 and the next least cost is 30. Therefore, 30 minus 20 is 10. 30 minus 20 is 10. And in the second column, we get the same 5. Why? Because the costs are not changed or not struck off. Therefore, first least cost is 45, next least cost is 50. 50 minus 45 is 5. And the same repeats for the third column. The first least cost is 15 and the next least cost is 25. 25 minus 15 is 10. Right? Now the second set of row penalties and second set of column penalties are finished. And here we don't get any penalty. Why? Because the last column, that is fourth column, is being struck off, right? So we put a X mark here in this block. So of these second set of row and column penalties, we select the greatest penalty, it is 25. We put the 25 in a block and we enter its corresponding row. Why? Because it is regarding row. Now in this row, in leftover cost, the least cost is 20. So to this 20, corresponding demand is 30, and this to this 20, the corresponding supply is 500. Of these two, 300 and 500, the least cost is least value is 300. That is, demand is 300. We allocate 300 in this cell in which 20 is present. And now we strike off 300 from 300 and we make demand 0. And now we strike off 300 from 500. Then 200 will be left. Now we got demand as 0. Therefore, we strike off the column. Therefore, we strike off the first column. So till now we have completed 2 allocations. Now let us go for the third set of row penalties and third set of column penalties. So in this first row of these 2 costs, the first least cost is 15 and the next least is 50. 50 minus 50 is 35. 50 minus 50 is 35. 35 plus 15 is 50, right? 50 minus 55 is 35 and 17 minus 25 is 45, right? 45. Now, and from these third row cost differences, 60 minus 45 is 15. 60 minus 45 is 15. Now, there is no need of finding the penalty for first column and the last column in third set of column penalties. And we get the same penalties for second column and third column. Why? Because the costs are not changed or they are not struck off. So from this third set of row penalties and from this third set of column penalties, 45 is the greatest penalty. 45 is the greatest penalty. And if we enter its corresponding row of these 2 costs, 70 and 25, the least cost is 25. Now we see its corresponding demand and supply. So demand is 400 and supply is 200. Supply is the least value. Therefore, we allocate 200 to the cell in which 25 is present, right? And now we strike off 200. We get 0. We get 0. And we strike off 200 from 400. We will be left with 200 demand. We'll be left with 200 demand. And now the second row supply is being exhausted. That means it is 0. Therefore, we strike off second row. We strike off second row. Now, see here, as second row is being struck off, therefore, while finding the fourth set of row penalties, we need not find out the second row penalty. And the same repeats here also, right? There is no need of finding first column penalty and last column penalty for fourth set, right? And see here, now if we see the cost in first row, that is we are finding fourth set of row penalties and fourth set of column penalties. Now the first row differences, 50 minus 15 is again 35, right? 35. Now, and we go for third row. 60 minus 45 is 15. 60 minus 45 is 15, right? And here we get 5 and here we get 10 and here we get 10. So from these penalties, fourth set of row and column penalties, the highest penalty is 35. Therefore, we put this 35 in a block and we enter its corresponding row, and we select the least column, that is 15 is the cost in which least cost is present. It is the block, that is O1 D3, right? To this 15, the corresponding demand is 200 and corresponding supply is also 200. See here, it is a peculiar situation in which supply and demand are same while allocating in middle of allocations, right? Therefore, we allocate 200 at a time, supply and demand. So we strike off supply and it is made 0, and now we strike off demand and now demand is also 0. Therefore, now we strike off row and now we strike off column, and now we strike off a column. Now see here, the first row supply is being exhausted, therefore strike off this penalty, fifth set of penalty, right? In the second row also demand is being exhausted, therefore strike off the second block of fifth row penalty. And now in the third row only 45 cost is left over, therefore we fill the last block of fifth set of row penalty by 45, right? And now no need of finding fifth set of first column penalty, right? And the second column penalty in fifth block is 45, as only 45 is left. And now no need of finding this third and fourth block penalty for fifth set, right? As its corresponding demands are made zeros. Now 45 is the row penalty for third row and 45 is the column penalty for second column. Therefore, both are the same. Now, of these both, let us select any one, that is 45. I will select the column penalty and I'm putting this 45 in a block and I will enter its corresponding column, that is D2 column, and the least cost is nothing but the leftover cost 45. Its corresponding demand is 200 and its corresponding supply is 200. Therefore, allocate these both 200s at a time. That is, the demand is 200. Therefore, the supply will be 200. Therefore, strike off supply and demand, and now strike off row, and now strike off column, and now strike off a column. Therefore, by luck, we have completed all the allocations within five sets of rows and column penalties. Therefore, there is no need of going for fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th row and column penalties. Now we can go for finding the initial basic feasible solution. Now we can go for finding initial basic feasible solution, right? So let us start finding initial basic feasible solution. Now number of rows is equal to m is equal to 3 and number of columns n is equal to 4. Therefore, m plus n minus 1 is equal to 3 plus 4 minus 1 is equal to 7 minus 1 is equal to 6, right? So therefore, now let us count the number of allocations. First row 1, second row 2, that is 3 allocations, 4 and 5. Therefore, number of allocations are 5. Number of allocations are 5. Therefore, now we should compare the number of allocations with the number m plus n minus 1. Therefore, 5 is less than m plus n minus 1. Therefore, IBFS is degenerate. If the number of allocations is exactly equal to m plus n minus 1, then we say that the IBFS is non-degenerate. So it is not the case here. So IBFS is degenerate. Now let us write the allocations. The allocations are as follows. Now the first row is containing an allocation, that is x13. x13 is equal to 200. x13 is equal to 200, right? Now the second allocation is in second row, that is x23 is equal to 200. x23 is equal to 200, right? Next x24 is equal to x24 is equal to 100, right? Next, comma. Now let us go for writing the fourth allocation, that is x31. x31 is equal to x31 is equal to 300. x31 is equal to 300, right? And the last allocation is x32 O3D2 is 200. x32 is equal to 200. x32 is equal to 200, right? And now these are the allocations. x13 is equal to 200, x23 is equal to 200, x24 is equal to 100, x31 is equal to 300, and x32 is equal to 200. Therefore, we have finished writing the allocations. Now, let us write the transportation cost. Let us write the transportation cost. The condition for finding the transportation cost is z is equal to double summation Cij Xij, sum of all products of cost and allocations in every cell, right? So see here the first cost is 15. The first cost is 15 into 200, right? 15 into 200. Now 15 into 200 plus, right? Next 25 into 200. Next 25, right? 25 into 200, right? Next, it is second product plus the third. Let us see the third product. 0 into 100 is 0. 0 into 100, right? 0 into 100 plus, now let us write the fourth product, 20 into 300. 20 into 300. 20 into 300, right? Plus now 45 into 200. 45, right? Into 200. 45 into 200, right? Now let us write the product is equal to, right? 15 into 200. 15 to 30. 30 followed by 2 zeros, that is 3000. Now plus next 25 into 200. 25 to 50. 25 to 50. 50 followed by 2 zeros. 50 followed by 2 zeros, right? 0 into 100 is 0 plus 200. 20 into 300. 3 to 6. 6 followed by 3 zeros. 6 followed by 3 zeros, right? Plus now 45 to 90, right? 90 followed by 2 zeros, that is 9000. 9000, right? Now let us write the sum of all these transportation products, right? 300 plus 500, 800. 800 plus 600 is 1400. 14 plus 900 is 1000. That is, all we get is thousands, right? 14,000 plus 9,000 is 23,000. Is 23,000. Therefore, z is equal to 23,000. Therefore, the transportation problem is solved by Vogel's approximation method. As it is a unbalanced transportation problem, first we have to make it balanced, and later we have to opt this Vogel's approximation method. And after opting this Vogel's approximation method, we go for row penalties and column penalties. And for first allocation, we select the first row penalties and first column penalties, and we select the greatest penalty, and corresponding to that greatest penalty, we enter its corresponding row or column, and we select the least cost and allocate in that least cost cell. That is, we make the allocation in that manner by Vogel's approximation method. Now I will take the other problem, right? in which we are deficient with supplies. It is the problem in which the demands are deficient. Now let us go for the second problem, right? Now see here, it is the second problem. See here, it is the second problem. Now let us go for solving this problem. Now see here, I'm starting the problem. As time is very less, I will start this problem and let us finish this problem within this session. Right, see here, the sum of availabilities, that is 800 plus 500 plus 900 is equal to 2200, and the sum of requirements is equal to 400 plus 400 plus 500 plus 400 plus 800, it is equal to 2500. Therefore sum of availabilities is not equal to sum of requirements. Therefore the given transportation problem is unbalanced. So availability is 300 lesser than the requirement. We introduce a dummy or origin. Origin means regarding row, right? Row S4, that means S4. Now with all unit cost zeros, with all supply 300 in S4 row. It is the problem in which we introduce S4, right? And now let us see this S4. The cost is 300 and all the cost cells are filled with zeros. Therefore, the given transportation problem is made balanced. Now let us see. In the above transportation problem, sum of availabilities is equal to the same 2500, and the sum of requirements is, see here, we have added 800. Therefore, we got the sum 2500, right? Not right, 800. We have to add 300, right? Right, see here, we have added 300 regarding row. Sorry, right? So the sum of availabilities and sum of requirements are made same. See here. Now, so the given transportation problem is made balanced. Now we start allocating. Now let us clear this and go for the allocation process. So it is the table in which we have to allocate, right? The first, by taking the row penalties and the column penalties. Now, see here, let me start the problem. I'm facing the problem of the space. Right. Okay. Right. So now, see here, I have taken 9 sets of row penalties and 9 sets of column penalties. Now let us fill up the first row penalties and the first column penalties. Now see here, in the first row of cost matrix, 5 8, it is 6 or wait, let me see. Wait for a while. Yes, children, it is 6, right? Let me write this as 6. Right, okay. It is 6, right? 5 8 6 6 3. In this first row, the first least cost is 3 and the next least cost is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. So the first penalty is 2, and in the second row, first least cost is 4 and the next least cost is 6. 6 minus 4 is again 2. And in the third row, the first least cost is 3 and the next least cost is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. And in the last row, all the costs are zeros. Therefore, the penalty also will be 0. And in the first column, let us take the penalty. The first least cost is 0 minus second least cost is 4. Therefore, 4 minus 0 is 4. And next, in the second column, again 4 minus 0 is 4, right? Next, in the third column, 6 minus 0 is 6, right? 6 minus 0, that means first least cost and next least cost. And here also 6 minus 0 is 6 right? In the last column, 3 is the second least cost minus first least cost is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3, right? Now, among all these row and column penalties, we have to select the greatest penalty, that is 6. 6 is the greatest penalty. Therefore, we are finding 2 6 here. So I will select the first 6. I will select the first 6 and put it in a block and enter into its column. Enter into its column. Why? Because it is a column penalty. And in this column, we select a least cost cell, that is 0, right? So to this corresponding 0, demand is 500 and supply is 300. Therefore, we allocate least value, that is 300 in this cell. We allocate 300 in this cell, right? So allocation is finished. Therefore, 300 is made 0 and 500 minus 300 is 200. 500 minus 300 is 200, right? Now, as the row availability is exhausted, we strike off row. We strike off row. Now, so we strike off row. Now, let us go for finding the next penalties. First row penalty is again 2, right? Why? Because there is no change in row cost. Second row penalty is also 2. The third row penalty is also 1. There is no need of finding the fourth row penalty. The first column penalty, 5 minus 4 is 1, right? Next, 7 minus 4 is 3, right? 7 minus 4 is 3. That means first row first least cost minus second least cost. 7 minus 6 is 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. And here, see here, all are 6s. 6 minus 6 is 0. 6 minus 6 is 0, right? So now let us find out the row and the column penalties. Row and the column penalties. Now, the greatest penalty is 3. The greatest penalty is 3. We put this 3 in a block and enter into its column. That is, we select the least cost in its column, that is 4. 4 is the least cost. To this 4, corresponding demand is 400 and corresponding supply is 900. Therefore, we allocate the least value, that is 400. 400, right? Therefore, we strike off 400 and we strike off 400 from 900. We are left with 500, right? Now we strike off the column. Now we strike off column, right? Right, as the column demand is being exhausted. Now let us go for the third set of row penalties and column penalties. Right, 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. Next, 6 minus 4 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. Next here, 6 minus 3 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. And there is no need of finding the last row penalty. Now, 5 minus 4 is 1. There is no need of finding this column penalty as demand is exhausted. Next, 7 minus 6 is 1. And 6 minus 6 is 0. And now, 6 minus 3 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. Right now, see here, of these row and column penalties, the greatest penalty is 3. The greatest penalty is 3. Therefore, we put this penalty in a block. We have got 2 3s. We have selected this penalty regarding row penalty, right? And I enter this row and I select the least cost cell, that is 3. Corresponding to this 3, demand is 800 and supply is 500. Therefore, I allocate the least value, that is 500. That is 500, right? So now 500 minus 500 is 0. 800 minus 500 is 300. 800 minus 500 is 300, right? Now I strike off this row. Why? Because the row availability is exhausted. Row availability is exhausted. Now I go for finding the row penalties and again column penalties, right? So in the first row, the first least cost is 3 and the next least cost is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. And in the second row, the first least cost is 6 and the next least cost is 7. 7 minus 6 is 1. And in the next row, there is no need of finding penalty. And in the next row also, there is no need of finding penalty. And here in the first column, 5 minus 4 is 1 again. And in the second column, no need of finding column penalty. And in the third column, we find 7 minus 6 is 1, right? And here 6 minus 6 is 0 again, right? And here 6 minus 3 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3, right? Now, if we go for these four set of penalties, the greatest penalty is 3. Put this 3 in a block, enter into its corresponding column. The leftover cost is 3. The corresponding demand is 300, and the corresponding supply is 800. Therefore, allocate the least value, that is 300, right? That means put this 300 in a block. And now strike off this 300. Now the demand is made 0, and take out this 300 from 800. We are left with 500 supply, right? And now we strike off the column. Now let us go for finding the next set of row penalties and column penalties. That is, it is the sixth set. The first list is 5, next list is 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. And here 7 minus 6 is 1. And here we need not find out the row penalties. Here, see here 5 minus 4 is 1. And no need of finding second column penalties. And here 7 minus 6 is 1. And here 6 minus 6 is 0. And here no need of finding the fifth column penalty. Of all these ones, right? See here in the fifth set of row and column penalties, all are ones. So I take this one, greatest penalty, that is 1. So all are ones, we can select any one. So I take the first one in row penalty and I enter into its corresponding row, and the leftover cost cells are 5, 6, 6. And the least cost is 5, its corresponding demand is 400, and its corresponding supply is 500. Now allocate the least value, that is 400, right? Now in this cell, right? Now and strike off 400. 400 minus 400 is 0, and 500 minus 400 is 100. 500 minus 400 is 100. Now we strike off the column. Why? Because the demand is made 0. And now we are left with a few costs for which we have to find out row penalties and column penalties. In the first row, 6 minus 6, we get 0, right? And in the second row, we get 7 minus 6 is 1, right? No need of finding third and fourth penalty, right? In this fifth set, right? So there is no need of finding first penalty in column, first column, second column penalty also no need to find. We find this penalty. 7 minus 6 is 1, and 6 minus 6 is 0, and here no need of finding this column penalty. Right now, if we observe these penalties, again we have got one as the 2 row and column penalties. Therefore, I select this one and I enter into its corresponding row. The corresponding row, that is second row, is containing 2 costs 7 and 6. I select the least cost, that is 6. Its corresponding demand is 400, and its corresponding supply is 500. Therefore, I allocate the least value, that is 400, right? Therefore, I strike off 400, it is made 0. And now I strike off 400 from 500, it is made 100. It is made 100, right? Now I strike off this column as this, its corresponding demand is made 0. Now see here in the first row, only one cost 6 is left. In the second row, 7 is left. No need of this third row and the fourth row penalties. And in the first column, no need to find. In second column also, no need to find the penalty. In the third column, 7 minus 6 is 1, and we need not find out this fourth column and the fifth column penalties, right? Of these row and column penalties, 6, 7, 1, the greatest penalty is 7, right? We put this 7 in a block and enter into its corresponding row. 7 is the only cost left over. Its corresponding demand is 200 and its corresponding supply is 100. So we allocate 100. We allocate 100, right? Therefore, I strike off 100, right? And from 200, if I strike off 100, 100 will be left over, and this 100 is made 0. Therefore, I strike off this row. And now if we observe carefully, only one cost is left, that is 6, right? Its corresponding supply is 100 and its corresponding demand is also 100. See here how perfectly we have allotted all the allocations. Therefore we allocate this 100 at a time, right? So make this 100 0 and make this 100 0. Now we strike off column and we strike off row. So with this we have finished the process of allocating. Now let us see the number of rows. 4, the number of columns 5. So m plus n minus 1 is 8. 5 is less than m plus n minus 1, that is number of allocations is less than m plus n minus 1. Therefore IBFS is degenerate. Right now we find out, we write allocations. The first allocation is 400, right? I write just the allocations. Second allocation is 100, right? Next, third allocation is 300, right? Next, fourth allocation is 100, right? Fifth